And there we are. We are back live on Facebook after taking a few days off from Facebook. Wanted to get back on and create the opportunity for folks to be able to see us both on the Zoom and on Facebook. So thank you very much for tuning in today. I know this has been the one that you have been waiting for these last couple of weeks, me. Just talking to you about what's going on here at the Chamber. We've been doing a lot of stuff here at the Chamber. We thought we would just take one of these webinars just to walk through some of the things that we have been doing. We've been having tons of conversations with the folks at the other chambers, the regional economic development partners, Visit Fort Worth, the city, about a lot of different things. And so wanted to just chat a little bit about some of the resources that are out there. Wanted to walk you through the website a little bit because as most of you would probably know, we have a resource page on the website, but we've reorganized. We've got some different things on there. And so wanted to just walk through that a little bit with you so you can see that. And then as you recall, we were doing a lot of economic development and still are doing a lot of economic development here at the Chamber. And so wanted to walk through the economic development update. We have not done that in quite some time. And so wanted to share with you, kind of where we are on the jobs and on the project pipeline. If you recall, we have the Fortify plan, the 4-year strategy. And wanted to show you where we are on that now that we're 2.5 years or almost 2.5 years into that. So with that, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my screen and we're going to look at a few things. Maybe. So first off, let's take a look right here. Let's take a look at the website, the Fort Worth Chamber website. So fortworthchamber.com is the website. And so you can see right here the resources, and wanted to click on this and just walk through this with you a little bit. So lots of information here, and we'll spend a little bit of time here walking through this. So you can see here to the right, we have what's coming up, what's the webinars, what are we doing, what's the future topics here, so that you compare yourselves and figure out what topics are most important to you to make sure that you join us at 2 o'clock on those days. Wanted to also show you this. So all of these that we have been doing, these are all recorded. They're all here. And we put them on Facebook as well, but you can get on our website and you can look through all of these. If you missed one or you need to go back and get some other information, or if you just need to know who was that person that gave us that information so I can reach out to them, that is all here. And so those will continue to be populated as we go there. So you can have that information. Going back to this main page, we also wanted to show, we're collecting some stories from different business partners and different companies that are doing different things and different organizations, some success stories, some happy stories about what's going on. And so we've got a series of different videos for that. And so I'll show you that here when it pulls up. So you look at some of these companies that are doing different things, look at Encore Live and what Z's Cafe is doing with making sandwiches. So wanted to certainly show you that that's out there. And if you have any stories, if you have something that you want to share, then we want to partner with you. We want to take that video and we want to put it up here. So please, if you have something that you want to talk about, talk to us. Let us know what's going on, and so we can put it up here, and so everyone can see the success or the great stories that you're having. So then some of the resources down here. So we've broken this up. There are a lot of resources out there. And we've had a lot of these webinars talking about some of these different resources. But here you go. We've got it broken down into the different categories. So business loans and grants. So you see, now this obviously isn't comprehensive to everything, but as we get more information about the new programming coming out, then we're popping these up there. We also, this top link right here is going to take you to a small business 2-pager that we have put together that has, again, some of those programs that are on there, some things that are specific to nonprofits, small businesses, minority-owned businesses. So want to make sure you saw that. We're going to continue to add to this again as more information becomes available. So then also wanted to, continue to go down the way here. So employment and HR, we've got a few different areas here. This workforce connector platform, where if you have some hiring needs, you need to reduce your workforce, here's some information on that. So you can certainly, look to that. And then also, The Jobs Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Jobs Now platform that the Workforce Solutions of Tarrant County has put together, here are the opportunities. Here are the jobs that are available. And so this is constantly updated with the jobs that are available, broken down into different sectors so that if you are looking for a job or you have a relative that's looking for a job, then great resource right here for that. Then also the partnership with Fort Worth HR here. We have that. We've talked about that a lot. Here's their page. Here is some of the information that they're putting out, which is great information. They've told me about 50 questions from companies like yourselves that are asking them questions about HR related issues. And so right here, they have that previously answered questions in there so you can take a look at that. And then down here, here's where if you have that question, you pop your information in here, ask that question, and they'll get back to you. It's been a great resource. So I wanted to remind everybody that that was out there. Again, going back to our website, essential business. We've talked about essential business. The city, their definition for the essential businesses is here. I'm pretty sure everybody is familiar with that. But here it is. Again, if there's any questions on that, reach out to us. Reach out to the city. We'll be happy to make that connection. And then some of the other, childcare tools and things like that that are out there. And then other resources. The Tarrant County, the city of Fort Worth, Visit Fort Worth, Star Telegram. We're populating this information in there as we get it, so it should remain up to date as much as we possibly can for you. But again, any questions, any concerns, any trouble getting to any of these resources, let us know. Let us help you get to the resources that'll help you be successful. Going down here, news and notes, we are updating these as we get them, trying to get the actual government documents for you and things like that. So again, we'll continue to update these things as they come in. And then for those of you who are still might be struggling through setting up your office remotely, working from home, sheltered in place, here are some tools over here that a lot of folks are using. The Zoom, which we're on today, Microsoft Teams. I know a lot of people use that. So here's some tools. Just want to make those easily and readily available for folks so that if they did need that technology, they wouldn't have to go searching around. It's right there. So again, don't hesitate to go to this site. We're updating it constantly. And if there are things that you're aware of or things that you have questions on, like I said, reach out to us, let us know. So with that, what I will do is I'm going to head over to the economic development update. Now, as always, as we have questions, please feel free to put those questions on the Facebook and they will send those over or here in the Q&A section of the Zoom call. So with that, let's go over to the economic development update and just give you a kind of a insight of what's going on as far as what we've been doing in those areas. So I'll go back to 2019 really quickly because a lot of you probably not seen this information this year, but 2019 was a great year for us. If you recall, the goals of the Fortify campaign are 2,000 jobs with existing businesses that are above the county average. And the county average wage for Tarrant County is roughly $53,000. And then 2,000 new attraction jobs, new companies coming in across the 4 years, again, above the county average. So you see that annual goal of roughly 500 or actual 500 in each of those categories. So looking at last year, tremendous success last year, well over 800 jobs in each one of those categories, really getting well above our goal of that 500. So we're really excited about that. The 2620, those were total jobs created. Now, obviously, there's more jobs created than just the 2,600 jobs, but these are projects that we worked on specifically. We fielded a request for information from someone. We provide some real estate. We provided workforce information or wherever that might be. Those are the companies that we worked hand in hand with. So we had a very successful year. So where are we right now in this year? So you can see where we are. obviously, given what we're going through right now, a little slow, as not a whole lot of travel, not being able to, invite folks in and do some site tours. But I'll get into our pipeline in a little bit, but we're still seeing a lot of activity. But still 437 new attraction jobs above the county average created already. And so that was fantastic. Still working with some existing businesses right now and looking to help them and support them. And we will look for that number to rise, fairly quickly once we get back to work here and get the economy restarted. So like I said, it's a 4-year campaign, started in 2018, January 1, 2018. So we're a little over 2 years, 2.25 years into this campaign. And so you can see where we are. We're almost, to those job goals right now. 2,000, as I said before, existing business jobs above the county average, 2,000 attraction above the county average. And you can see where the numbers lie, in that. So we are, 84 and 89% of the way there to our goals after just over 2 years. So tremendous, really excited about the opportunity here in the Fort Worth area and continue to grow the economy. Again, that 5,200 jobs, that's all the jobs created that we have worked on as an organization and supported those companies. So really excited about that. But where do we stand right now as far as our project pipeline? So the projects, keep in mind again, a project is a company has reached out. We have a validated scope on that project. We know what a job creation number looks like. We know what an investment looks like. We know what the narrative around the project is. So not just someone kicking the tires, it's an actual verified project that has some parameters around that. So 85 projects currently in the pipeline. Fantastic. That's the most projects we've had in the pipeline in the last 2 years. When we started this campaign back in 2018, there were 6 projects in the pipeline, 85 projects now. Tremendous. But you think about, well, what's going on now with the shelter in place and people not being able to travel? Has that the amount of projects that are coming in slowed down? No, they have not. You can see since January 1, we've had 36 projects come in. Again, those are projects that are asking for real estate or some kind of information about the community and looking to make an investment here. We've had 15 of those projects come in since March 1. And so again, you look at that, we are still seeing people interested in gathering information, maybe taking this time to really dig down into the data on their project, on the community, and the comparisons that they do against other metros that we're competing against, but still seeing a lot of that, a lot of those companies looking to secure that information and have those conversations. Like I said, obviously we haven't had the ability to host anyone. A lot of travel restrictions out there, but again, with all of those projects that we're seeing, we're very confident that as soon as these travel restrictions get lifted, we're going to have some folks coming in and visiting with us. So 85 projects, fantastic. We're staying busy over here as far as that is concerned. And then the project breakdown. So you look at those 85 projects. What are they? Are they industrial? Are they office? Are they HQs? So you can see they're starting from the far left, 75% industrial, 25% office. We've just had a lot of industrial looks lately. That number usually is a little bit more in the 60-40 area, but a lot of industrial projects have come through. A lot of people looking at maybe reshoring or looking at expansions and things like that. So 75% industrial projects, 25% office projects. Break down that industrial number. So go to the right there, 88% manufacturing, 12% distribution. It's a great number. Those manufacturing jobs, that's what we want to see. Those are the higher wages, the higher skill sets. So that's fantastic. Now, obviously, there's still distribution projects happening out there. We're working with those folks. We just have an influx of manufacturing projects, again, which is fantastic for us to be able to lift up the profile of the Fort Worth area with those skill sets and whatnot. And then the breakdown of the office related, 40% back office R&D tech companies, 60% headquarters, which I've said this several times with some of you who are joining us probably haven't heard me say that. This is a fantastic number. To have 60% of our office projects have some kind of HQ component to it is just phenomenal. And so now a lot of that, not all of it, but some of it is somebody moving the entire company from, say, California or somebody like that, where they're bringing some type of industrial component with them, but the finance, the C-suite, the ownership, they're all coming too. And so it's just great to see that number coming from Ohio. We didn't have those numbers in Ohio, and I know we would have loved to. And so just being a place that people are really considering of moving here and moving their families and their HQ operations here is just tremendous. It validates the market for us. So where are these coming from? Well, let's go down to the bottom left and what kind of projects are they? 90% attraction projects, 10% existing business projects. Again, not that existing companies aren't growing, because they certainly are. We just have an influx of companies that are reaching out to us from outside of the community and are looking at making an investment, moving the company, relocating. And so we're just getting a lot of that activity in. As a lot of you know, we have a very robust business retention and expansion program where we're going out and we're meeting with companies, just sitting down and having the conversations of how is it going? What's good? What's bad? Are there things that are constraining your business from growing? Are there things that we can be doing as a community to support your industry, to support your company? So having those conversations, and as we have those conversations, you see these projects perk up that somebody, maybe they just don't know how to, take that next step. And if we can support them and get them in front of the resources, and that's what we're trying to do through that program. And then sliding over to the right there, domestic versus international. I'd love to see that international number a little bit larger. Obviously, right now it's a little difficult. But again, these are the projects that we know. We know the information on. We have a lot of confidentiality agreements that we sign. Sometimes we do not know who the company is or where they're from or what industry they're in. And so it could very well be that international number may be higher. We just don't know because of the confidentiality around some of these projects. So with that, I'll close by saying we're still working. We're still doing a lot of stuff and still fielding a lot of phone calls from folks, but we certainly want to be able to support you and put those resources in front of you. So with that, I will stop sharing my screen here. I see we have a couple questions that have come in. How do you see the business recruitment process changing post-COVID-19? So that's a great question. Some of the consultants that we're talking to, some of the companies that we're talking to, they're finding new ways of approaching how they're doing their due diligence on properties. Google Earth, maybe it's drone footage, maybe it's some different things. Maybe you don't have to travel as much. Maybe you're not having to take 3 or 4 visits to a market to really understand, what it is, and having these conversations via the Zoom or other methods. We did, before this all started, we did host a company on a Zoom call, and we got all of their partners on the call. We were on the call with our partners, and we just talked about the information that they needed, able to share screens, able to show what utility infrastructure was in the ground, or what the universities or the schools looked like as far as training and education for. So I think that there will be some of that. It's hard to say. Some of the site consultants that I talk to, they don't think anything's going to change. Other ones are seeing their companies change. So we'll just have to wait and see and be flexible as we go. Do you see more people and companies coming to the region because of COVID-19? Not necessarily. I will say that one of the strengths that we have in the DFW market is our population and our population growth. And we have seen a lot of companies that have come and asked us for information and put us part of their search process because of the growth. Before all of this, kind of kicked up, obviously we were in a time of very low unemployment. And so where do you go when you need to have employees? You go to places that are growing like we are. So I believe that we'll continue to see that trend, and we'll continue to grow, and we'll continue to get more looks from a lot of companies just because we have the skilled workforce and we have the educational components to that. Sorry, I'm just looking at a couple other questions here. Somebody here has asked if we know of resources that the chamber hasn't listed, where can we send them? Send them to us. You can send them to me, you can send them to chris@fortworthchamber.com, and we'd love to have those. So please send them over. The more information we can get out, the better. And we have our team out there looking and trying to find all the resources, but there's obviously tons of them out there. So if there's information that we don't have there, please send it over to us, chris@fortworthchamber.com. Do you see any changes in office space demand with some companies moving to remote offices? Yeah, that's a great question. And we're trying to see how that actually pans out because we have had some conversations with some folks that the working from home has actually worked. The working remotely has actually worked, and we can achieve a lot more, and we can be more efficient when we're working remotely. So maybe we don't need to have as much office space. I don't know. I have not seen anybody talk to me about reducing office space. We'd have to talk with the office real estate community and see what they're hearing. But I haven't heard anything directly. But again, this is a time that everybody is kind of looking at this and saying, well, what's the need? Can we be more efficient? Do we have to work from the office? So I think that we will see some changes in there. What that looks like, I just don't know at this point, but that'd be a great conversation for us to have with the real estate community. I think I've answered some of these, how it's affected economic development and how's it going to affect us moving forward. See if there's any other questions over here. Will people leave highly populated cities for Fort Worth as a result of COVID? Another great question. Not sure. I have seen some articles in some of the economic development and site selection magazines that talk about, is this an opportunity for smaller communities to grow as people want to leave places like New York or California? I haven't seen any data on that, but there's certainly some folks out there asking the question. So it could very well be that we see some additional growth. Like I said before, we're still growing. We still have people moving here, and we continue to see that trend go up. Will it continue to spike up? I don't know, but if it does, it'd be great for us because, like I said before, more workforce, more skilled labor puts us in a better position as we talk to these companies about growth. And here's a question about social distancing in the office space. I think I addressed that as well. So here's one. Does the chamber have a recovery plan for post-COVID-19? So that's something we're efforting right now. As we talk with businesses about their impact right now, it's also about what does this do moving forward? When we reopen the economy, what are those challenges you're going to see? So like I said before, we're having those conversations with the other chambers in Tarrant County. We're having the conversation with the city of Fort Worth and Visit Fort Worth and the retailers. We just completed a call everyone campaign, and if you're a member of the chamber, you got a phone call from one of us, one of the staff members, just checking in with you. And so we're using that information to understand what are going to be the challenges moving forward. And so we're working with all of those entities and more to develop a game plan to make sure that our companies can be successful coming out of this. So with that, I think that's all the questions that I have gotten or received. So again, as I said, reach out to us. Let us know what's going on. Let us know how we can support you. And if there's information out there that you don't think we have that will be relevant, then please send it our way. We want to know. We want to be able to get that information out to everybody. So with that, thank you very much. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. And we'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock and hope to see you then. Thank you. Bye-bye.